Beryl expected to become a hurricane later today or tonight as it approaches the mid to upper Texas coast. Situation overview. Beryl has continued to move to the northwest at around 12 miles per hour over the western Gulf waters early this morning and will gradually turn more northward as it approaches the Texas coast tonight into Monday. Beryl is still forecast to strengthen to hurricane status before making landfall Monday morning. Guidance, however, has shifted the track further east over the last few runs, and Beryl is now most likely to make landfall over the mid to upper Texas coast. Beryl is relatively compact in size with tropical storm force winds currently extending up to 125 miles northeast from its center. Locally, conditions will begin to deteriorate this evening as the outer rain bands from Beryl begin to move through the area. Hurricane and storm surge warnings remain in effect along the islands and coastal portion of counties along the coastal bend from Baffin Bay to Sargent, TX, including Ruffiero and Victoria counties. Tropical storm warnings are also in effect for the coastal plains including inland Kleberg, inland New Aces, inland San Patricio, B, and Goliad counties. There are also several additional hazardous impacts across the region. The threats include sustained winds 60-80 miles per hour will be possible near the center of Beryl, mainly along the islands and coastal counties north of Port Aransas. Coastal flooding, significant storm surge with peak inundation up to 6 feet expected across Mesquite Bay northward and up to 5 feet along the middle Texas coast from Baffin Bay to Mesquite Bay. Greatest threat for storm surge is from today through Monday. Flash flooding, moderate to high threat of flash flooding today through Monday night. Rainfall amounts of 4-8 inches with isolated higher amounts over the northern coastal bend and Victoria crossroads, and 1-3 across the coastal plains. Tornadoes, isolated to scattered tornadoes and waterspouts, mainly today into Monday embedded within outer rain bands of Beryl. Greatest threat will be east of the center, mainly along the northern coastal bend and Victoria crossroads. Hazardous seas, wave heights 20-30 feet tonight through Monday. A storm surge watch remains in effect and a tropical storm warning remains in effect for the following, in Texas, Kleberg. A tropical storm warning remains in effect for the following locations, in Texas, B and Goliad. A storm surge warning remains in effect and a hurricane warning remains in effect for the following locations, in Texas, Aransas Islands, Aransas, Calhoun Islands, Calhoun, Coastal Calhoun, Coastal New Aces, Coastal Ruffiero, Coastal San Patricio and New Aces Islands. A storm surge warning remains in effect and a tropical storm warning remains in effect for the following locations, in Texas, New Aces and San Patricio. Hurricane warning remains in effect. What? Southeast winds 30 to 50 knots with gusts up to 75 knots and seas 22 to 27 feet. Where? All the bays and waterways as well we the Gulf waters from Baffin Bay to Port O'Connor out to 60 nautical miles. When? Tropical storm force winds possible from Sunday morning until Monday afternoon. Hurricane force winds possible from Sunday evening until Monday morning. Impacts. Extremely strong winds will cause hazardous seas which will likely capsize or damage vessels and severely reduce visibility. Mariners should remain in port, alter course, and slash or secure the vessel for extreme conditions. A storm surge watch remains in effect and a hurricane warning remains in effect for the following locations, in Texas, coastal Kleberg and Kleberg Islands. A hurricane warning remains in effect for the following locations, in Texas, Ruffiero and Victoria. What? Flooding caused by excessive rainfall continues to be possible. Where? A portion of South Texas, including the following areas, Calhoun Islands, coastal Aransas, coastal Calhoun, coastal Ruffiero, Goliad, inland Calhoun, inland Ruffiero and Victoria. When? From late tonight through Monday evening. Impacts. Excessive runoff may result in flooding of rivers, creeks, streams, and other low-lying and flood-prone locations. Extensive street flooding and flooding of creeks and rivers are possible. Additional details, http://www.weather.gov/safety/ flood, you should monitor later forecasts and be alert for possible flood warnings. Those living in areas prone to flooding should be prepared to take action should flooding develop. Beryl expected to become a hurricane later today or tonight as it approaches the mid to upper Texas coast situation overview.